if he wins, you know, I do think people will question whether or not it was like is this just Oscars aren't so white. Look who we
No,
right?
I don't even think it's, and maybe it is a little bit of that.
Or will it be like a Biggie and Pac thing where it's like,
Yeah.
you're they love you when you're gone, right?
Yeah, they don't appreciate you while you're here, but they certainly do, chant your name when you're gone. All right, moving on to the story. Obviously, very very connected to the trailer that Ma Rainey's trailer that we just talked about. So it turns out that Boseman, Chadwick Boseman he has there's a prospect that he could, kind of make history here. Now it's not the type of history that you clearly like want to make, right? It's not something that if you could help it, that you'd want, right? Like, you'd want to be alive to accept your Oscar if you were to win it. But Boseman might make a bit of history because, and I'll just read directly from an article from the Collider here. If Boseman secures a leading actor nomination for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, he will join a list of 4 previous, and I can't ever say this word,
Posthumous.
Is that how you say it? Okay, fair enough. I always want to say posthumous. It's not. That's not.
Don't do that.
Posthumous nominees. Posthumous nominees in that category, including 2 for James Dean. I always remember, whenever I hear James Dean, I always remember Jay-Z's lyric from the Black Album where he's like, and I'm actually going to quote Jay-Z a little later, but where he's like, or be like James Dean leaving a good-looking corpse. Do you remember?
I remember that line.
Yeah. I think it's from.
I don't remember what song though. Was he even?
It was with Pharrell. It was with Pharrell. With
I've never seen a James Dean movie.
I mean, but he's clearly way before time. So
yeah.
It is
still, even though it's throwbacks.
All right, I don't know. So if he wins, he'll be the first since Peter Finch for Network in 1977. If he secures a supporting actor nomination for The Five Bloods, he'll be the third posthumous nominee to do so, with Ralph Richardson winning an Oscar, or I guess getting a nomination for Greystroke, as well as Greystroke, The Legend of Tarzan, Lord of the Apes, and Heath Ledger earning one for The Dark Knight. And so if he ends up, getting both nominations, he'll be the first posthumous performer to earn a nomination in both acting categories simultaneously. And if he wins both, then obviously he'll just be creating a very significant bit of history there. If he wins both, which, in all likelihood, how do they not give it to him? Like, and that's kind of why I was saying before, in the segment we were talking about Ma Rainey's Black Bottom trailer, I was saying like, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be because of the performance. I think it might be because like I think it would appear that he's probably going to have a pretty strong performance in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. But to me, The Five Bloods wasn't. I've seen him in better roles than that. And so to me, and this is just my opinion, if he does win, I don't know if that's because of his performances, especially in both. Ma Rainey's, I think that might actually be legit, but for The Five Bloods, I don't know.
So I haven't seen Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
I have to see who else is like what the other nominees are. If they produce some trash, then it's like, okay, yeah, why not?
So I haven't seen Ma Rainey's Black Bottom yet, so I can't speak to his performance in that film. But from seeing The Five Bloods, I think. And not because of his passing. I remember watching the movie, and I'm pretty sure we watched it before he passed, before the news broke. And I just remember watching that film and like the build up and the anticipation for his character in that movie. There was so much build up for it, right? There was, he was put on a plateau, and when he finally had his time on screen, I feel like he delivered. I feel like he kind of like over delivered. I feel like that performance was, to me, like Oscar worthy. In 5 minutes, can you give me everything that you were propped up to be? Yeah, I mean, you should be able to deliver. Like you're an actor, right? Like you're among the best. Over delivering and like making your 5 minutes not more powerful than the film, but like making your 5 minutes follow you throughout the movie, even when your character is no longer present in the film.
Yeah.
We still feel the presence of your character in the performance you gave. I think that's what he did in that movie for me. So I feel like that's why he deserves to be in the conversation. If he wins, you know, I do think people will question whether or not it was like you know, is this just Oscars aren't so white. Look who we.
No,
right?
I don't even think it's, and maybe it is a little bit of that.
Or will it be like a Biggie and Pac thing where it's like,
Yeah.
you know, they love you when you're gone, right?
Yeah, they don't appreciate you while you're here, but they certainly do, you know, chant your name when you're gone, which is, you know, that's a sad thing to think about, but it's just, you know, it's true just by, you know, what we've seen, you know, historically, that a lot of these great artists aren't really recognized, just like you were talking about, like Biggie and Pac, right? Like they were clearly like, you know, heavyweights before, you know, they passed, but then after they passed, it was just like, oh no, now you can't even, they're in a category
now everybody
alone.
Loves you.
You know?
Before a few people loved you. Now everybody loves you.
Yeah. So I think that, you know, I don't want to see that necessarily happen to Boseman, because I think that would be a little disrespectful to his career in terms of what he was able to accomplish. I what I'm hoping is that, and again, I'm hoping to see Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, because I think it looks like he's going to have a pretty strong performance in that. But you know, whether he wins or he doesn't win, I think what he was able to produce for the film industry was, who gives a shit what if he fucking wins an Oscar. Like I think what he did was
21,
way beyond.
Was it 21?
42. You
you
divided by
bridges.
2.
I was thinking about 21 Bridges. I divided it by 2.
I was like,
right, yeah.
why did you do that?
So 42.
Yeah.
I mean, Black Panther.
Yeah.
The Five Bloods. I mean, again, short period of time, stellar body of work.
Yeah.
I'd love that he's in the conversation.
Absolutely. So we'll just have to wait and see sort of how all that plays out. But again, in my opinion, I don't think I don't, who gives a shit if he wins an Oscar or not.
I'm glad you said who gives a shit.
Yeah.
Because that leads right into our next story.
Before we move on completely though, leave a comment in the comment section below about how you feel about, Boseman potentially, kind of, how he might make out at the Oscars, even with his passing, based off of the performances he had before he passed.